Hello everybody, Josh here, back with another P3D video today. Apologies for my absence over the last week. I know I've gone completely off video schedule and just been completely non-existent. Unfortunately, I have been rather unwell, which has rendered me unable to record any videos of such. It really did knock me quite down actually. If you're on my Twitter, then you know I had a mouth ulcer. That was so big I actually had to go to the dentist and get some stuff for it. It was painful. I could barely speak, and therefore was not able to do any videos. However, I am back in the run of things now, with any luck, and yeah, we'll be back on the video schedule, and all is good. Whilst I've been away over the last week, however, rather a lot has happened. I've got new internet coming in from the 7th of September, which means from the 9th of September, this is actually probably a good time to do an announcement, to be honest. From the 9th of September, okay, I will be going live on Twitch with some streams 5 days a week. I'll be streaming on Mondays, Tuesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. On the Monday, Tuesday, and Friday stream, it will be from 3:30. On Saturday it'll be 3 o'clock, and then Sunday it'll be 1 o'clock all day stream on that. That's going to be a trial schedule. I'm not 100% sure it's going to last because I may be starting a new job very soon, in which case that schedule will be completely useless, and we'll have to go base by base on what hours I do at work to when I can stream. But more on that information as it comes along. Speaking of which, social media, I have changed all of my previous social media to match this channel now. So I now have a Twitter, I now have a Discord for that. So my Twitter is twitter.com/Josh_Akerst, that's AKEHURST. I also have a Discord server as well. The links to all of those, or both of those, sorry, will be in the description below, and I'll make it so it actually links. All you just got to do is press it, and it'll do everything for you. So be sure to follow me over on Twitter for more information on the schedule for Twitch and just everything else really, and also on Discord if you want to get in contact with me or just hang out. Whatever, that is fine. So now that all of that is out of the way, what are we doing today? Well, Southend to be specific. So yeah, we're on the ground here at Malaga at the moment, stand Bravo 18, I believe. This is the Aerosoft A319. You'll know that it came out obviously a few weeks ago for P3D version 4. This is the 1.0.1, I think it is, experiment. It's the latest experimental build anyway. It's the experimental build that just came out. So that is what this is. I have not yet flown this since I installed the experimental, so I really genuinely don't know what to expect. Obviously I know how to fly it, but I don't know exactly what's been changed apart from what I've read in the change log. This is Golf Echo Zulu India Whiskey. This is the Linate to Fiumicino livery from EasyJet. It's got some very nice detailing on it. This is on the Aerosoft forums. This is currently the only repaint that's been actually updated for version 4. All the others you actually have to do some work to get in there. But this one, the developer, I can't remember. I don't know who it was now. I can't remember. My apologies. But the repainter for this particular livery, he has made sure that it's V4 compatible, so it is just still drag and drop. It's really easy. Same install as it has been over on FSX and other P3D versions for years. It's no different. It's just drag and drop into the aircraft and fill in the aircraft CFG. I'll leave a link to this repaint in the description below as well, should you want to go and check it out for yourself. Looks like the catering is done here, so shift 4 to bring up the MCDU menu, and that's the wrong button. We can go over to the doors, and we can close these right-hand doors now. So the catering service can do one. And we'll jump over into the flight deck, and we'll get this show on the road. Okay, so we're over in the flight deck. We're in a cold and dark state at the moment, so we need to literally fire everything up. All I've got on the moment is I'm on external power, just so I could power the doors. Everything else is off, so this is basically about as cold and dark as you're going to get from this day. So, first thing we're going to do is just fire up these panels here, these screens, the ECAMs and the NDs and whatnot. And that can all come onto there. Why that clock is rolling, I have no idea, so we can reset that as well. Come up over to the overhead, and the ADIRSs can align like there. That's all good. Fuel pumps can stay off for a minute. Batteries can stay off for a minute. That can all stay as it is. We can whack the nav lights on. We can also actually leave the seatbelts off for a minute because we haven't finished fueling. The no smoking signs can come on, and we can arm the emergency exit lights as well. I'll turn this up a bit because it seems reasonably quiet, and I don't know why. There we go. Perfect. So we can come down to the MCDU and go over to the FMGC. We can see everything's correct there, so that's absolutely fine. I'm going to come over to init. Before I do that, I'm just going to request boarding so we can get that underway as well while we do this. So, Lima Echo Mike Golf to Echo Golf Kilo Kilo. No, it's not. That's complete rubbish. To EGMC, sorry, for Southend. But it's not in database because I need to add a 01 on the end. Does help. That can go in there. I don't know why I thought I was going to Gatwick. It's because I did an overnight flight from Gatwick over to Buenos Aires last night. Flight number today is EZY61 Delta Mike. That is our call sign for the duration of today's flight. Cost index, I have no idea, so I'm going to use 36. And we're cruising flight level 380 today. And the wind at 380, I have no idea what that beeping is. And the wind at 380 is the temperature, is minus 56. So that can go in there like so. We can go over to init 2. And then before we do that, we can load some weight. So we need to come back to shift 4 and go over to load and fuel, and we can go over to my flight plan. I have no idea what that beeping is. That's rather annoying. So flight plan, 9.9 tons of fuel. So 9.9 tons of fuel, and we are taking on board today 110 passengers. No cargo, because this is sim brief and it doesn't know what it's doing half the time. Why can I put 0 in? There we go, easy. And we can load, so we can just load those instantly, to be honest. That can all go in there. Perfect. So that's that done. So we can now double press the 0 fuel weight line and put 9.9 in our block fuel. And that will fill all of that in like so. In terms of the trim settings and whatnot today, let's have a look. I actually forgot to calculate this, and I probably should have done beforehand, but whatever. So let me just go over to my little calculator tool. Even though this is for the FS Labs, well, tough luck, we'll do it, and we'll use it for this as well. So we're departing runway 13 today, which is 3,200 metres. No, runway, really? 13, there we go. Which is there. And then it's 3,200. No slope. The wind at the moment is, when I look at conditions on ActiveSky, 120 degrees at 7. 7. The temperature is 28 degrees Celsius. The QNH is 1018. Conditions are dry. Our takeoff weight today is 63.4. We're flex. Config 1. Packs off for takeoff as per EasyJet. And the takeoff CG is 26 exactly. So that can go in there like so. That gives us a trim of 0.5 up. Yes, yep, up. 0.5 up. And with flaps 1. And that can go in there. It gives us a flex of 67. You see our V speeds in here. 125 V1, VR 129, V2 133. Transition is 6,000, which I believe is correct. It is indeed. Perfect. So, over to flight plan. We go over to LEMG here. Runway 13 in use. And it's the Bailin to Hotel departure we're taking today. And we can just re-verify all of that, I suppose. 132 and 136. Perfect, and that can all go in there like so. IRSs are almost aligned on that now. We can set these to constraints, and the fuel pumps can now come on. So can the batteries, because we can fire up the APU. So we'll switch the master on, and we will just wait for flap open to come up on the lower ECAM. So that's a take off while we're waiting. Flap is open, so we can now set that to start as well. Brilliant. Bring the radio stacks in here, and 122.8. We're on VATSIM as always, but no ATC out of here today. Switch the other one on. And 2000 on the transponder. That's auto, that's 1, and out RPTG is also on as well. That can stay on ABV, and that can stay on standby for a minute as well. All the trims are zeroed, as you can see as well. Perfect. The weather radar can stay as it is for a minute. And initial climb out of here today is not denoted, apart from the fact we have to be at 3,200 feet or above 11 DME out of Malaga. From the Malaga VOR. Or the Malaga Aeroporto VOR. There's no actual initial climb denoted, so we'll just use 6,000, which is transition feet. So that can go in there. All the others are already pressed in, so that's fine. That can be pressed in as well. Seatbelts can come on. Now the fueling is done as well. And we have APU, so APU bleed can come on. And we can come off of external power. Here the bleeds will now kick in. Ground services, and we can get rid of the GPU. The boarding is also completed, so we'll verify the parking brake is set, which it is, and we can ditch all the traffic cones and wheel chocks as well. Start closing the doors now on the cargoes and the main pack stores, and then we can get some pushback once the IRUs have finished. The ADIRSs are finished, which they have now. I've set that. I forget you have to do that in the Aerosoft. It's a bit different in the FS Labs. That can go in there. The VORs are already set, and the QNH, as I said earlier, is 1018, so we can set that onto there as well. Perfect. Easy peasy. So the doors are closed. The jetway can do one. And we can push nose to the left. So pushback and departure, nose to the left, tail to the right. We do not want to start engines prior to the pushback. And the tow can come in there as well. Beacon light can come on now. And that is that. Whilst we're waiting for the tow just to connect here, I should tell you that from the 7th, as I said earlier on the start of the video, I've got new internet coming in, which means I'm going to have a whole plethora of new things coming in. There's going to be better upload quality, because what you see is not as good as what I see, because I have to really compress the file down in order to get it up onto YouTube within a remotely decent time. So from the 7th, I'm going to be able to use better rendering formats, which means obviously far better quality. I've also been working on some lower thirds and things like that as well. And you'll see that the channel's got a new logo as well, which I think works a lot better. So all of that to come from the 7th onwards. Also from Monday, there's a new series launching. It's called Mini-Sode Tuesday. And the idea of that is that each week, on Tuesday's video, we'll be doing essentially a series. So it'll be a series of things each week, a set sort of subject, if you like. From next week, it's going to be a tutorial series. So we'll release the parking brake here quickly. Yeah, so from next week, it's going to be a tutorial series. So each week, we'll look at a different aircraft that's sort of mainstream. So the 737 or the Dash 8 or the Airbus. And each week, we'll look at a full tutorial on how to fly from cold and dark all the way up to getting it in the air and then back down again. So that all from next week. As you push back here, we can set the ignition to start, and we can fire up engine number 2. I see the PSI is above 20. Sorry, 30 needs to be above, which is just achieved. Probably should start the clock. Okay, so engine 2 has started, so we can fire up number 1 now. You can hear the hydraulic PTU. Parking brakes have come on there as well. Perfect, so just unlocking the gear now. We'll go back into the inside view because that's really quite loud. Whilst he's unlocking the gear, we'll look at some taxi stuff. So, we are currently on the Romeo 4 apron, by the looks of this. So, just to the left of us is Alpha, and Alpha runs all the way down to 1-3. So, the question is, can we make this left here? I reckon we can, you know, so we're going to. So, 2 good engine starts, we can ditch the APU now. Taxi lights, turn off lights. Come on as well, like so, and we can switch the weather radar on to system 1, and the PWS can go to auto. Flaps 1, and on the flight controls here we can see the trim, which we need 0.5 up. That's way too far. Why is this so dodgy? Just do it this way then. 0.5 up. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And there, perfect. We're going to do a flight control check, so full left, full right, full up, and full down. We can check the rudders as well, full left and full right as well. Perfect, all the control services working there as they should be. Fantastic. So, we can release the parking brakes, in with a little bit of power, make this left hand here. Great thing about Airbuses is they're very good at making turns. Something from the A319 is quite diddy anyway, so it can make pretty good turns. It's got a pretty good turn radius. So as we are taxiing, we can set the auto brake to max. The spoilers can arm. We can check the takeoff config, which is checked and no blue. So we're just waiting on the cabin to be ready here, which they obviously won't be for a few more minutes yet. So this is Alpha, take us all the way down to the end of runway 13. Let's idle that power. And as we also taxi, we can set our transponder on as well. Like so. Cabin is now ready. So the Aerosoft is an aircraft I'm very familiar with. It was the very first proper add-on that I brought for Flight Sim when I first started getting into this. So I've got a lot of experience with Flight Sim. It's with the Aerosoft. It's got a little special place for me. It was the aircraft that it's the aircraft I essentially learnt to fly in. I learnt the fundamentals of flying in this aircraft. So it's nice to finally be back in it. on a far better platform with far better performance and just graphics and everything. So, yeah. A lot of people don't seem to like the Aerosoft Airbus. It's even this new version of V4. My synopsis on that whole thing is that I think people are too used to like FS Labs. But Aerosoft aren't in competition with FS Labs at all because they are two different aircraft. Alright, they're the same in that they're both Airbus, they're both A319/A320, whatever. But they're also different. The FS Labs is full-on study level. It's got every last little detail you could think of an Airbus detailed to the code, you know. Whereas the Aerosoft hasn't. It's just it's study level, but it's not like level D, so to speak. It's not there to give you a full-on Airbus experience. It's there just to sort of give you a little bit of a fun thing to fly. It gives you an idea of how Airbus works for those that just don't want to do hardcore, that just like flying from A to B and whatever. Then that's what the Aerosoft is built for. I think they've cheaped out on some things, I'll be honest. Things like sounds. I mean, considering how long it's taken to do this refresh, this sort of rebuild for version 4, I think they have cheaped out with the sounds. I think they have had more than enough time and more than enough opportunity to do something with that. Systems-wise, again, I don't like how everything up on the autopilot panel is linked. Like, you see that changes both sides, and same for the flight director. So I don't like how that's all still linked. It's still like dual operation. Again, I think they've kind of cheaped out on that because they're just using their old base code. And honestly, nothing I know uses this anymore. This was an old way when Flight Sim really you didn't have much of an option in Flight Sim. You've got so much malleability with it now, especially since with the PDK, which is like the SDK for P3D version 4. Other than that, I like it. Its detents are a lot better than what the FS Labs are with the throttle detents. And I almost think it flies a little bit better as well. I feel like their fly-by-wire is just modelled that ever a little bit better. But it's a nice aircraft. I like it. Alright, it's not FS Labs, but I enjoy flying it. You know, if I didn't, I wouldn't be doing a video on it. You know, it's great. And apart from the fact that I got it for 50% off because I owned the old Aerosoft, so that's always an added bonus. Okay, so we're approaching the runway here, so we can whack the landing lights on. The strobes can come on, they can come to takeoff. And we can do that as well. Whoop. Let's hit the brakes a little bit there. Run off. Easy. So, runway is verified.
Approaching 14.
And there's RAAS doing everything, or I say doing everything, stating the obvious. And it's wrong as well, because it's runway 13, not 14. Unless it's changed. But no, it can't have done. Because it used to be 14, now it's 13. Perfect, so pretty good lineup, it would seem. So, everything looks good to me. We can bring the power in, sort of 50%. And put the nose down a bit, just to get the added grip. And there's Manflex 67 SRS runway, auto thrusters blue. Bring the stick back now. There's 100 knots. There's V1, rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Trimmed to perfection, it would seem. Let's bring the aircraft a little bit to the right to keep it on the flight director, and down a little bit as well. That'll be okay. Can level out the aircraft. Whoop, there. A little bit of overcorrection going on there. Zoom this out a little bit so we can see when to make that turn. And there's climb power. Perfect. So passing 2500 will take the autopilot. Actually, no, passing 3000 will take the autopilot. Brilliant. So passing 3000, we can take autopilot 1. Puts the autopilot in command. I forgot to actually set that clock to go off, so that was clever. Perfect. Let's have a look. And it's just straight over into the water. My God, that looks nice. That's really nice. Damn. So passing the flap up speed now, so we can bring the flaps in. As we pass green dot speed there. And my screen is flickering really badly. I really hope that's not coming out on the actual OBS. It's not. So a problem I keep having with certain aircraft is that my screen for some reason flickers. It doesn't pick it up on OBS, but the actual sim flickers. I've got a feeling it's something to do with either the shadows or HDR, but I'm really not sure what at the moment, so I need to look into that. Can carry on climbing up now to 380, and that is perfect there. So off on our 2 hours 40 minutes of flying now. So I shall leave you here, and I shall speak to you once again when we're a little bit closer over to Southend. Okay, how's it going, everybody? We're just in the descent into Southend as it happens right now. Just as you can see here, through flight level 117 on the, the EGMC 1 Golf arrival today for runway 23. So yeah, 2 hours 16 on the clock at the moment, 2 hours 26 on the block, and we are at the moment in quite a level of cloud. In terms of the METAR, it's partly cloudy, so we've got some clouds at 3,900 feet to deal with as well. And once we sort of get below sort of 3,000 feet, it should, in theory, start to clear up a little bit. There's nothing in the way of rain reported. It's 18 degrees down there at the moment, and they've got a QNH of 1022. So that is all in there. As you can see, just all filled up in there. 238 feet is our final approach speed for today. We're just descending down to 4,000 at the moment, which is sort of the point of where the approach starts. Also where we turn on to the approach. We'll go a little bit lower than that. We'll probably set that a little bit lower so we can intercept the glide. We've got an out constraint of flight level 90 here of OCVAP, and then an ATSAP 70, and you can see there at ADVAS is where we make that initial turn down onto runway 23. We are the only arrival into Southend at the moment on VATSIM. Well, in fact, we're the only person due in at all. There's no departures, and it's only me that's due to arrive. So nothing in the way of traffic to contend with. See, we're just slowing down here to 250 knots to meet that constraint of 250 at 10. Losing the path slightly, but we'll make that back any moment now. As we start bringing the speed back, we can bring all the lights on now. Also, you can see the passengers are belted in as well. Those wind turbines. Well, you can't see them because a massive cloud is hitting the front of the nose, but look. I don't know if you could just see it through the cloud. Are those wind turbines? No way. Oh, it started raining. Well, if it's raining on the ground, then we should see some true glass. It doesn't seem to work up at higher... Well, I say it doesn't work at higher altitudes. I don't think it's meant to work at higher altitudes, to be honest. Because you're flying so fast, you're just blasting the windshield away. So, we're below 6,000, and the QNH is 1022. Oh, I've just turned it into... So that is now set. We can set the standby altimeter as well. Auto brake medium and full reverse today. We only have 1,856 meters to stop, so we do not have a lot of room. God, those wind turbines. Look at them. What? This is one nice approach. Honestly, this is genuinely one of the best approaches I've ever done. Look at, well, to be honest, that's a screenshot in itself, isn't it? Before we level out, preferably. There we go. Nice. This is a nice approach. The Clacton just off to our right there. You'll be familiar with that with both Gatwick and Heathrow departures. And arrivals, actually. Oh, Heathrow. I think there's a Clacton arrival for Heathrow. I know there's one for Stansted. This has turned into a slightly longer second part of a video than I thought. Rip. Oh well. Who cares? Right, so Gegmu is going to be the next waypoint, which is obviously the name of the approach. So this is our transition now to from the arrival to the approach. We're straight in via Trippo. It's easy. We have the ILS now as well. What we'll do is we'll arm the localizer. So, because in theory, because it's, if I just zoom out a bit, it's a straight-in approach. Once you make this turn from India November Delta 14, once you make that turn in, it's a straight line. So, in theory, you should intercept the localizer as we make that turn onto there. Alright, we'll activate the approach phase now, I think. Or should we leave it a bit longer? We'll activate it now because we're 16 miles out. So we'll start reducing the speed down now. We can come out with flaps 1. Nice. Very cloudy. Localizer diamond's coming in now as well. Perfect. Let's just drop that down a bit more so we can see what we're doing. So we have the localizer now. We can take approach. We'll go Cat 3 single because we'll obviously be taking manual control today. No reason to be doing an auto land. So we can continue out with flaps 2 now. And gear down flaps 3. I know in the experimental build they've fixed some sounds, and one of those is the noise of the wind on the gear. They've reduced that, which is very good actually, because that was one of my pet hates with this. And we can also take flaps full now as well. So that is us in a configuration for landing. It's only taken us 20 minutes. Well, it's taken me 20 minutes. It'll probably take you less because I would have probably edited this video down, to be honest. So a bit of a dip. I'm not 100% sure why it wants us to fall out of the sky. Rip? What is it doing? So you know how I was saying that Aerosoft have fixed a load of stuff? I think I was wrong about that. Right. On the auto brakes. Sorry, the ground spoilers. That's nice. Absolutely no idea what it tried to do there. Because Southend is not exactly a steep approach.
$2,500.
Is checked. So hopefully we should grab the glide just as we hit that 2000 mark, stop us levelling off, which would be nice. In which case we've achieved a continuous descent approach, which is always good. Saves on the old fuel. Yeah, that should be about right, to be honest. We may level off a little bit, but it's not going to be drastic. Just need that diamond to come down a little bit faster. There's Southend right in front of us. Very small airport of Southend. And Simfest decided to take a 747 out of it. I don't know if you know who Simfest are. I mean, I'd imagine you do. They're the guys that have that fixed base 747 sim and do a lot of charity work. But they flew a 747 out of here during the Summer by the Sea event. And I know that because I was parked right next to them. Okay, so landing checklist. Gear down, flaps full, spoilers armed, cabin ready. All is good. I actually know the go around for this. Is it so it's straight ahead to 2000. So that's all set as it needs to be then. Perfect. I see no reason why we can't take the autopilot out. So we're going to do that. Perfect. Aircraft is mine. Got a 4-knot crosswind. It's a varying wind, but it's pretty much dead across the runway. But it is varying more to the west. So westerlies is what they'd be using, and I think I'm blowing people's ears up. I apologise. I need to get my audio sorted. I promise I will. Losing the localizer a little bit there. Wind's blowing us a bit. 1000's checked. Plenty of room to muck about with this, so it's not major. Bring the nose up a little bit.
2, 4.
I need to turn RAAS off. It irritates the shit out of me. Probably going to get told off for swearing. Because some guy didn't like me. Oh, actually, yeah. Brings me to a point. The guy that commented on my Caronado review video, you know who you are. I must have said about 3 times.
500.
I know I said it at least once. And I put it in the description that that flight was not a tutorial flight. And then you said, I prefer to watch people who know what they're doing. Well, if you want a tutorial, then go watch somebody who did a tutorial.
400.
Because it's not me. Unless for swearing, I don't really care.
100 above. 300. Minimum 200.
Continue.
Glide slow.
I'm going to bring it in slow here so we can at least try and get a nice flare.
100.
Glide slow.
70, 60, 50, 40, 30.
Can we not fall out of the sky?
Retard 5. Retard.
Very nice. Reverse is full. Reverse is out. Manual braking. We've made it for this X here, so we don't need to backtrack. Brilliant. Shit. Oh no, I've turned the wrong way! We should have gone that way. Just ignore what I'm about to do. LOL. Landing rate was -142 on that, by the way. That is a pretty... That is a pretty good landing rate for somewhere like Southend, where you just want to plant it on the ground. Right, fixed. That never happened. I believe I did that. I thought, for some reason, I got my bearings muddled up as if we were landing on an easterly. Taxi lights used to stay on. Strobes can come off. We can fire up that master APU switch. Flap should open in a second. Please. There we are. Start that. We can also stop that clock at 2 hours and 43 minutes. Bring the spoilers in, bring the flaps in. The job is a good one. Whoop. That was a nice landing, it was a nice flight. Take the flight directors, take all of that stuff out now. And we can also turn off the weather radar and the PWS. And we can get rid of the transponder as well. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I just sneezed. This is UK2000 Southend. ATC Lasham Limited. I have no idea who they are. Flight school maybe, I'm not really sure. So APU is available. Take APU bleed. Nice. It's always a nice landing. Always a nice approach. London Southend Airport, home of Eddie Stobart and Stobart Air. So let's take not one of these, because I think they're all Stobart stands. Although I think, to be honest, Southend is just park anywhere you like, to be honest. I'll go for one of these. Stand 6 is where I think I was the last time. So stand 6 is what we shall take. Just line that up a little bit better. Like so. Perfect. So, that's all on. Taxi lights can come off. And we can shut the engines down. Beacon light can come off. Apparently we need to set wheel chocks in order to request the ground services, which is fairly interesting, so we'll do that. Ground services. Oh, that'd be well because the parking brake came off. We'll connect all of those. We can request deboarding now. With EasyJet, aircraft doors, front left, front cargo, aft cargo. Stop the clock at 2 hours 57 minutes. Fuel pumps can come off. External power on. APU off. Batteries off. And the seatbelts can come off as well. Perfect. That's it from me for today's video. Thank you very much for watching as always. And it is a pleasure as always to do a video for everybody. I will be back. What is today's date? Well, more importantly, what day is this coming out? It's a Thursday, so I shall be back on Saturday with another video. I have no idea what we're going to do on that video yet, but I'm sure I'll think of something prior to it being recorded, obviously. That is it from me for this video. As always, like, comment, subscribe, all of that stuff. Don't forget, starting on Twitch from the 9th, I'll be live from 1 PM on Sunday the 9th over on Twitch, twitch.tv/Josh_Acurst, which is AKEHURST. Links for all of those, along with my Twitter and my Discord, will all be in the description below, as with this repaint. So I hope to see some of you there from here over on Twitch on Sunday the 9th. However, that is it from me for now. So until the next video, thank you very much for watching, and bye-bye. And what on earth is that suitcase doing? LOL. Anyway, from me for now, until the next video, bye-bye for now.